Hi and welcome to another Avid Engage. I'm Sarah from Avid Property Group and we're here today joined by Abby from Mask Events to talk about how to style your Christmas table. Welcome, Abby.
Thank you, Sarah. It's a pleasure to be here.
So today we're going to hear from Abby about how to actually create a really beautiful Christmas style table, both indoor and outdoor, using things that you have around you, things that are recyclable and things that are good for your budget. So Abby, tell us, what are the sort of things that we need to do to think about how we create a style for our Christmas table?
Beautiful. So the first thing you want to do is think of a theme or choose your favorite colors that you'd like to incorporate into your style. We really like to start with a nice garland or a runner that goes across the table, a nice focal point, and then complement with a pop of color. Great.
And how can we keep our budget and the environment in mind? You know, at Christmas time, there's already a lot of pressure on us. You know, there's a lot of pressure on new homeowners, particularly at the moment. So how can we do that without spending a lot of money?
I really love to source materials from nature, going out for a walk, sourcing pine cones or fresh foliage from your garden, repurposing old Christmas decorations like baubles, old materials that you have lying around. It's actually quite nice and simple to do. I'm excited to share those tips and tricks with you. Alright, so we're going to start off with a lovely nature's runner. So just with a few little branches, it'll really create the baseline for your table. Next step, we're going to add in some nice warm lighting. This will really help create a bit of an ambience for your setting. We will then start to add in some of my acquired natures. So we're just foraging around, looking for some pine cones. So with our baubles this year, I have revamped them, taking some old brightly colored baubles over and just putting some nice fresh paint over them, bringing a new fresh modern look to them, creating neutral color tones. I've also sourced some macrame rope where I've revamped these baubles as well to bring in that new aesthetic. Also add some texture to the design as well. So I like to cluster the baubles, different shapes, different textures, different colors. Adding in some height elements in here, always work a treat. We really want to have a nice focal feature in the center. And then we go through and we just add some nice little features. Sometimes less is more. You know, understand your aesthetic of how you would like to decorate and what kind of things that you have to upcycle and add into your own design. The next step is I'm going to add a few pops of color, bring in some fruit and some spices to really warm this table setting up. Now, when setting the table, I really like to stick to a nice color scheme. Now, I've gone with your traditional greens and reds, you know, but we've also got touches of nature throughout there. I love a good earthy tone. The pomegranates here in season just add a beautiful touch of color. I also love to add touches of aroma to the table, with that being fresh flowers, freshly scented candles, or even some spices. Our next step is to add the place settings. So I've preset these placements ready to go. Firstly, I started off with a nice charger plate, dressing up your day-to-day plate. This really makes it nice and special for your guests. You add in your everyday dinner plate on top of. This creates a nice little stacking opportunity. And I like to add in a little bit of texture. So adding in a nice smaller plate could be a tea plate, a bread plate, a plate from your grandma's house, or everyone brings a plate to complement in. I've stacked that up nice and tall on top. Now complement with a beautiful Christmas tree napkin. Starting from scratch, you fold it into a nice little square. You want to make sure that the opening of the corners are facing towards you. Bring it up to the top like a nice triangle, leaving about 2 centimeters along the side of the edges. And just repeat by bringing them slightly lower than each other. You're going to want to flip it over for your next step and bring the right-hand corner up to create a diamond shape. Looks a little bit like this. Flip it back over. We just want to make sure that we center it. I'm going to bring up these little tabs. These are going to create your arches of the tree. tuck it in underneath one of each other. Et voila. A beautiful, simple Christmas tree napkin design that makes everyone feel a bit special. Now to really personalize it, we can add name tags, or you can complement your place setting with a beautiful homemade bonbon. I have recycled this material. I have also sourced out some nice trimmings from Spotlight Bargain Bin. I have just filled the insides with a nice simple toilet roll. Everyone's got one in their home. Nice little piece of material like this. You fill all your goodies inside, you wrap it on up, you tie with a beautiful little bow, adds to the pop of color on your table.
Abby, I absolutely love what you've done here. It looks incredible. It's so Christmassy and inviting. Fantastic. So now we're going to have a look at how we can recreate this outside. So here we are in an outdoor setting. Abby, this looks gorgeous. A bit more of a pared back, outdoor, relaxed feel. So can you tell us what you've done here, please?
Absolutely can. Now what I've done here to this exterior one is that we've added a tablecloth to our exterior table. We've wanted to make sure that we weight it down. It's a little bit breezy in here, so we made sure that we've got our nice heavy vase, a nice heavy weighted focal point, and it makes sure it's covering the lighting of the candles as well, so the breeze does not lock the flame out.
Beautiful, and I can see here you've again used elements that you've just got from the garden. So talk us through what you've decorated the table with.
So yes, again, we foraged for our own little foliage out in the garden, just to bring in a little bit of nature, earth to our design. We've also complemented them with our reused and recycled baubles that we've used. We have also created our own little bonbons yet again in here.
Great. And I can see here again, you've used the foliage, you've got some fruit and other elements on the table.
Yeah.
And tell me about the wrapping here on the table for the presents.
Yeah, so I've been to Spotlight and I've just bought little bits and pieces of fabric and I've used that to wrap all of this year's presents. And it's a nice little way to personalize each setting as well by putting a nice little present at each setting.
Beautiful. So thanks so much for joining us again today on another Avid Engage. Thanks so much to Abby and the team at Mask for showing us these great designs that are great for our environment, but also great for our budget. So now all there is to do is enjoy the table with your friends. Cheers!
Cheers!